Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to look at what do we do when we issue a bond at a discount. Remember, we're going to issue a bond at a discount, meaning that we are going to issue it for less cash than par value. And the reason we do that is because the interest rate we're paying, our contract interest rate, is less than the market rate. So in order to entice people to want to buy our bond, even though the interest rate is not competitive, we do that by allowing them to pay less cash up front, and they'll still receive the full par value at retirement. Okay, so bond B is issued at a discount. How do you know that? Because I told you. No. Also, you know that because you know the contract interest rate is less than the market interest rate. That's the first sign that we're issuing a bond at a discount. Also, the issue price is less than 100, which is another great sign that we're issuing a bond at a discount. So we feel pretty good about that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is calculate the cash that we receive at issuance. All right, so to calculate that, we're going to multiply the par value times the issue price as a percentage. So 95.2 would be 0.952 because that's 95.2%. And when I do the calculation on that, I know I am issuing this bond for $9,520. The par value is $10,000. When it retires, the bondholder will get $10,000, but they're only going to pay us $9,520 for it. All right, so when we calculate the discount, we are going to take par value minus the amount of cash we're going to receive. And that is going to be $480 is our discount. All right, now we have to calculate the discount amortization. And in order to do that, we need to know how many interest payment periods we have. Remember, we're assuming for all of our examples a semi-annual interest payments, meaning we pay twice a year. So if our term is 3 years, times we're going to make interest payments twice a year, that means there's going to be a total of 6 interest payments. All right, so to calculate the discount amortization, we're going to take the total amount of the discount, which is $480, and divide it by the total number of interest payment periods, which we said was 6. And that's going to be 80 bucks. So we are going to amortize the discount $80 every time we make an interest payment. All right, let's see what that interest payment's going to be. Again, the formula for an interest payment is par value times our interest rate, which is our contract interest rate is 5%, 0.05 times 180 divided by 360. When I do the math on that, I get 1,000 times 5% times 180 divided by 360. It's going to be $250. So every 6 months, we're going to pay our bondholder $250. Finally, we're going to calculate the interest expense. So when we have a discount, the interest expense is the amount of the interest payment plus the amount of discount that's being amortized. So it's going to be $250 plus the 80. And we'll just calculate that to link it in here. Okay, so our interest expense is going to be $330 twice a year every time we make a semi-annual interest payment. So let's look at our journal entries. So at issuance, we're going to debit cash, and we're going to debit cash for the amount of cash we're actually going to receive, which was this $9,520. We are also going to debit our discount for the amount of the discount. And then we're going to credit bonds payable. And we're going to credit bonds payable for par value. Remember, every time we impact the bonds payable account, it is always at par value. Okay, it is here. So now our debits equal our credits. So the cash we received plus the discount equals $10,000, which is the amount that we're crediting bonds payable. All right, now let's do the journal for our semi-annual interest payment. So first we're going to debit interest expense. And our interest expense we said was $330. Then we are going to credit our discount for $80. And we are going to credit cash for the amount of our interest payment of $250. So our debits equal our credits. Now, if you're wondering why we're crediting the discount, so think of the discount as we need to use it up before the bond retires. Okay, so if we have discount as our account, and we've got our debits here and credits here. So when we first issued the bond, we had a debit of $480 for our account here. And then every time we make an interest payment, we're going to credit, let's get rid of me, $60. We're going to do that 8 times. 6 times? 6 times. Oh, and it's $80, sorry. So every time we make a payment, we're going to credit the discount at $80, and we're going to do that 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So at the end of the day, we have debits of $480 and credit of $480, and I'll just show that to you. So where's my sum? All right, so there's debit of $480 and credit of $480. So my total debits will equal my credits, and by the time we go to pay or retire this bond 3 years later or 6 interest payments later, that discount will be amortized to 0. All right, so then our journal at retirement is always the same. It's a debit to bonds payable and a credit to cash for par value. So debit to bonds payable for par value and a credit to cash for par value. Okay. And that concludes our lesson on bonds with a discount. In the next video, we will do bonds at a premium. So I'll see you then. All right, bye.